Hello, and welcome to the About Healing podcast, a show created for those on or awakening into their spiritual journeys, and who are ready, wanting, and learning how to heal themselves. I am your host, About Healing medium and certified spiritual healer, Sheree Buckman. It is my purpose to guide others to the path of self-healing and to inspire those on their spiritual journeys in finding their truths. Join me as I share my experience and unfiltered perspective in healing, as well as the incredible wisdom of the loving energy that guides us. Let's begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of About Healing podcast. Today, I actually am doing something, again, different. This is going to be a different type of episode because I am sharing something that isn't just about learning lessons on a type of issue that we're dealing with. I actually want to share a technique today. This is a tool. This is actually something that I share with clients on a regular basis. This is something that I do for myself every single day. And as we get into the work of awakening ourselves, awakening our consciousness, and claiming our power, this is a really important tool to help us keep grounded and present in the moment. That is what we're going to be talking today. This is a technique called grounding. And while there are many ways to ground yourself, I am going to share how I learned about grounding and how I started the process. And I will end this episode with a guided meditation on how to ground yourself. So stay tuned if you would really like that portion. Again, it will be something separate that you can pause and come back later to, or listen to it in the full extent of this episode. But I am placing it here so you know to expect that there is a meditation at the end. So if you're some of those where you're really busy and don't like to can't listen to a full episode at once, just know that it's there and ready for you when you are ready. During this season, there are going to be episodes sparking a deeper level of realizations, or those of you that will be seeking answers to overwhelming questions that may cause you to feel maybe out of yourself. I know because this was part of my process when I went through it. That when you start talking about awakening and when we start about claiming our own power, it is igniting deeper questions about purpose, about life, about choices, about so many deep and profound things. And when you're on this quest and when you're on this journey, you want these questions answered right away. And that's even more frustrating and even more overwhelming because you don't understand anything that is happening, where life feels upside down and you don't know, again, which way is up or down. And that is why I feel now is the time to share this technique with you, this tool. Because I want to be able to share these types of topics with you while also being responsible and leaving you effective tools to assist you through the process. And grounding is one of them. So I want to explain what it is. Like grounding, what the heck is grounding? Like stomping on the floor? While that could feel better, throwing yourself a little tantrum, because you are expressing yourself and you're letting things out. That's not exactly what I mean in this. Grounding is a tool or exercise that can be used to essentially drain the heaviness and excess emotion and energy out of you, out of your body, out of your energy and your wholeness, while tethering you to this plane, this earth plane. Grounding is very useful. And using it to do things like releasing built up emotions and energy when you feel really overwhelmed, and reducing stress. It is good in maintaining your own energy and tethering yourself to this plane and keeping yourself present and in the moment. So grounding is actually a scientifically I don't know why that's a hard word for me to say at the moment, but I'm going to stretch that. Scientifically, okay, research therapeutic technique that electrically reconnects you to the earth. And this is also supported by earthing science and grounding physics. So this is not just something that is made up by the spiritual community that we do that just looks and sounds ridiculous. This is actually proven to help. And it is used in the medical and psychological fields to aid their patients. This can be used by absolutely anyone and everyone. Truthfully, I would recommend this to absolutely everyone to start their day because it is so good in keeping yourself balanced. However, this is more beneficial for those who feel overwhelmed by their emotions. So if you find yourself having really big emotions, whether you're going through something, whether it is grief, whether you're going through a period in your life where you have a lot of anger or resentment, or even still, maybe you're more of a hyperactive person and you can't control a lot of that energy and you're all over the place. Because actually, this is something I even have my children do on a daily basis for that reason, to help bring focus and help bring calm. So it is beneficial for that too. But this is also good for anyone who feels like they float outside of their body, or maybe you just don't always feel present. Because I've had conversations with people where they feel like I feel like I don't fit into my body, or I don't feel like I belong here, like on earth. Like I feel like I'm always somewhere else, feeling out of place, that kind of feeling. Well, this will definitely help with that. It's just what I talk about, that tethering and bringing you back to this space, bringing you back to the present time. This is also good for anyone who feels overwhelmed by social situations. So maybe you have social anxieties. You don't like being in crowds. You don't like going to parties because it is, again, overwhelming. Well, doing this before and after will definitely help with that. But this tool is actually most especially recommended, at least by me, by me, for those who suffer from anxiety or high stress. This is definitely something to be trying out. And my number one is empaths. If you are an empath or feel like you might be an empath, which are those who feel what others feel, whether you feel someone else's emotions when you're next to them or in a space or a room and you just get hit by these overwhelming emotions that you know are not yours because you don't feel them or have a reason to feel them, because you can also take them on. So if you're an empath and you do not know how to control that, this is something to help you in that process to be able to stabilize it. So I feel it's extremely important to have a tool of some sort. And whether you do grounding or you do a more traditional means of helping yourself, it doesn't matter. I absolutely believe it is extremely important that you have some sort of tool to drain yourself of the overload, or again, to be able to tether your spirit or your consciousness to this space and time. Because otherwise it is and can be serious, causing deeper ailments and issues, not only emotionally, but also physically. So that's another thing I want to share too, because this also has healthy benefits that is not just for your mood and emotions to be able to ground yourself, but again, this has been proven and useful in the medical community also, because the electrical charges from the earth can have positive effects on the body. And some of these health benefits include, helping with inflammation and cardiovascular disease, muscle damage, chronic pain, and then again, you go into the mood and emotions. So to begin explaining how you would use this is, number one, to use this tool and this technique, you have to create a moment to yourself, because this is part of that self-care routine. And To do this, you need to have a quiet space, a quiet moment where you wouldn't be interrupted, okay? And I would not recommend while driving either, okay? Because you need to bring in tents and you really need to focus, and that is not the time or place. Unless you're really, really, really good at this and you've done it a really long time and it doesn't bring that focus away because you can just do it, like your just body and your energy just know how to do it, and it's a reflex. So especially in the beginning, do not do this while driving. So my disclaimer is there. I feel good about it. There you go. Oh, or heavy machinery. I guess I need to add that so I feel better about my disclaimer. So while driving or using heavy machinery, just like medication bottles say, you need to use that the same way. But just to explain, when you are getting ready to use this, some of the great times to do this is, taking a walk or when you have a moment to step outside. If you're home alone and you get that time, but maybe you don't get that time. In your car is another good one. Again, not while driving, but parked. So whether you're on lunch break and you're going to go drive to the park, or you're just going to go sit in the parking lot or in your garage in your car for a minute so you get your moment, then that's where you do it. It doesn't really matter where you are. For me, one of the places that I do it every single day in the shower, because it is quiet, and using water too is very cleansing and it's soothing. And then that's just my place where I zone out and I am able to kind of cleanse and adjust my energy. It's fantastic. But nature is always the best place to do this because, again, you're connecting with the earth. So if you have the opportunity to be outside, definitely that's the place you want to go. And most especially if you are grounding to really help yourself with extreme or heavy emotions, situations, circumstances, that's definitely the place that you would want to do that. The other important piece into how to start this is it's about the intention. It's about, and it's not something you have to sit down and write out or make this a really big deal, what you spend a lot of time setting the intention. The intention is a thought. That is all it is. Before you start it, it's about setting the intention of today, I am doing this to release. The intention is to release the excess energy that you're feeling. Or it is to prepare for a questionable interaction with somebody or somewhere. Because an argument might be coming up, or you are going to in-laws that is very stressful for you, or to the grocery store because you do not like being around other people. It's very stressful for you. Or are you doing it to bring yourself to the present? Or maybe it's a collective, and that's fine too. It's just having that little thought of the intention that, okay, I am doing this to stabilize my energy, to let go of the heaviness and to make space for the light. However you want to put it, it doesn't even have to be pretty and very specific, but again, just the thought basis of what you're trying to do. There are actually several ways in which people ground themselves. Okay, and some of those examples, just to throw it out there, I'm not going to get deep into any of these for this episode. Feel free to look them up on your own if you choose to. But there are others that are called earthing, gardening. That's actually one because you're actually hands in the ground. Okay, water. So working with water, being in the water, crystals, because they're natural to the earth and they hold their own natural high vibrations. And these are just to name a few. However, for the intent of this episode and what I'm teaching you, it is called rooting. I'm going to teach you rooting. That is what we're going to be leading to in our meditation today. And it's my favorite way to truly connect. So when you get ready to ground, it's not something that you necessarily only do one time. There are many different times where you can do this. And so this could be a situational thing where you just decide to do this again if there's a heavy circumstance and you're trying to get through it, or you're dealing with some really heavy emotions. Like maybe it's just before you go to a public event, or you are going to a place that usually causes heavy anxiety, or it makes you feel really drained after. Like going someplace and you feel so drained after. Well, this is something that you can do that helps with that. Again, you can do this before or after a stressful situation if you're feeling ill. Like if you're just getting over a sickness, if you've been inside and you just feel like out of it and drained of energy, this is definitely one that kind of helps bring that balance back, okay? Or if you're feeling weak, grounding and rooting more specifically is really helpful with that. This is also something you can use in a situation where you feel very fearful. So when you're feeling scared or affected like that in any way, this is also something that will help you give that energy, give you some of that strength, and letting some of that, again, that heavy anxiety associated with fear and draining that out. Now, if you're doing it just situational, that is fantastic because now you're doing something in these really heavy situations. However, I do recommend doing this daily, doing this every day, because now by doing it every day, you're in a space where you are ready for things that are coming up. Like you've drained yourself of everything that has happened, the day before or beforehand. And then now you're creating a daily practice. So you are ready to tackle whatever comes your way from there on out. So again, a great time to come up with this practice is maybe right when you wake up and you get out of bed. You can actually sit. No one says you have to stand when you do this. I just recommend it when you're starting. However, you can do this sitting anywhere. You can do this while washing your dishes. You can do this laying in bed still, in the shower as your part of your daily routine. Whatever it is to consciously do this every day. And the more you do it, the faster and better you will be able to complete this task. Because as you will see in this meditation, it feels lengthy and it feels long. But again, this is just so you fully understand the whole process. And it started long for me in the beginning too, where this took several, minutes to get through. But now I do this and I add so many other layers and other techniques onto it too. And I can still get it done within 2 minutes or so. So it is just something, again, the more you do it, the more you feel it, and you adjust it to what you feel that you need. Now, there are times or there are people or situations where I do recommend this multiple times a day. And more specifically, and that is for empaths. If you're an empath and you're just learning to figure out how to deal with being an empath and being so connected to people and overloaded in other people's energy and anxieties, and et cetera, or if you have been described as a sensitive person, or you are one with your own gifts and developing your own abilities, you definitely want to do this more than one time a day. Because if you are one of these people or one of those people, then it is easy in everyday interactions to collect and have attachments to others. And by doing this, it helps cleanse your energy from that, and it grounds yourself so you feel back in more of yourself, back more into yourself. I don't know, whichever makes more sense. I'm not sure. And then in that case, I would recommend 2 to 3 times a day. So again, depending on what you're going through and how you feel and what's going on in your life, it would be something like you would do it in the morning to get ready for your day, and then at night to release it all, to get ready to be comfortable to sleep again. So if you're one who's having a hard time of falling asleep, definitely do this at nighttime. It releases the tension and the anxieties and the stress of the day. It just helps with that. I'm not saying that it's magic and essentially everything just disappears and you have no worries in the world. No, but it does help take the heaviness, taking that heavy layer off. So it's easier to process the rest on your own. So if morning and night is not enough for you and you still feel yourself really overwhelmed, add another one in the middle of the day. Or again, add the situational, throughout your day, and just do it when you need to. Do it when you need to. So now I'm going to transition into helping set up the meditation for grounding today. So the following meditation is a guide in learning how to ground yourself. And as I said before, the first time is going to take a little bit, okay? It's going to take a little bit of extra time in here to understand the process. And I'm going to walk you through this piece by piece. But once you begin to understand it and you've done it a few times, you'll be able to do this in just a few minutes every day without any guide or whatsoever. And so this meditation you can use simply just as a guide of instructions. So you can go through this, listen to it, take notes, write it down, and so that you know what to do on your own. Because for me personally, I don't like people talking in my ear when I am trying to meditate or do something with intention. That's just, again, me personally. So I always like to listen to it first, and I take that guidance. And then I like to, and I recommend this to my clients too, because I am not doing the meditation with my clients. I give them, again, all these written instructions. But I like to put earbuds in and turn it to meditation music, yoga music, or classical, any high vibrating music that does not have words, because words are distracting. Because by doing this, it also tunes out the rest of the world, and I am able to simply focus on my thoughts with that music. Again, I know some people too that don't like any music and need to do this in complete silence, and that's fine too. You do it in the way that works best for you. These are just suggestions for you to take with you and what feels right for you. That's all this is. So either way, I recommend, especially your first time, outside if possible, and standing on natural earth. Okay, and that means on dirt, grass, rock, in water, whatever it is, something natural to the earth. And if the weather permits, with your bare feet. So if anyone lives anywhere near me, the weather does not permit me to walk outside barefooted right now, I would freeze. However, if you can, and if you have to wear shoes, that's perfectly fine too. Or do you have a tree that you can sit by or under? If it's too cold and you can't even go outside, I always say just something natural to be around. Can you hold? Do you have crystals? You want to hold that. That also is very helpful in it. Plants, if you can sit by plants, at least stand in the window if there's sun shining or anything along those lines. It is very helpful, especially in the first time, because the closer to earth elements you are, this is what's going to help you in this also. Again, for future reference, you will not have to do these extra steps, but I'm trying to show you the magnitude of a difference it can make if you use the natural elements. So for those of you who do like the guide, obviously you can put your earbuds in and press play and listen to this meditation, and I will help guide you through the entire process, and you can do it with me. Again, disclaimer. Do not do this while driving a vehicle, okay? No meditation should ever be done while driving or doing something that requires your full attention, okay? So again, create a time and space where you can be able to do this. So as we set up for this, make sure you have some time to yourself, okay? We're talking like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because sometimes you like to sit in this afterwards, once I'm done talking, and just sit in that feeling that you're feeling. So give yourself a small period of time where it is not only quiet, but you will have little interruptions. And I do recommend for your first time that you do this standing up. It will make more sense as we get going into this. And so, as I said before, there are more than one way to do this. If you find another method that feels right for you, then please use that. That means it's connected to you, and that's how you should use it. And it's all about the intention behind it. So as we begin the meditation, it is time to set your intention. Let's begin. Start by closing your eyes and begin taking slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in as deeply as you can go. Hold it for 1, 2, and exhale slowly until you've released all of your breath. Repeat. You will slowly start feeling the tension releasing in your shoulders. feeling your body relax. Regulating and calming your energy. Now begin to focus and feel the sensations around you. Feel the hard earth underneath your feet. The texture. Feel the temperature that surrounds you, the warmth of the sun, the coolness of the breeze. The smells that surround you. Now bring your focus to your feet. See them in your mind's eye. And now imagine roots growing out of the bottom of your feet. Just like trees, just like plants. Imagine these roots growing down deep into the earth, slowly growing, going deeper and deeper and deeper into our Mother Earth. Imagine these roots now coming to the center of the earth. And tie them to the core. Once you feel rooted and feeling connected to the earth, to the physical plane, raise one of your hands to the top of your head. Place it on the top of your head, not touching, just floating an inch or two above it. From here, I want you to imagine scanning the inside of your body. You're going to sit here for a moment, and you are going to imagine as you bring your hand down very slowly down the front of your head. Imagine it as a net. You're holding a net that is going down and filtering out the heaviness you hold within. Imagine seeing that heaviness. What does it look like? Does it look like fog? Does it look like blackness? Mud? Whatever it is, put a visual to what that looks like. The heaviness, foreign energies, the excess that you no longer need to hold. Now take your hand, keeping it an inch or two from your body. Come down the front of your head to your forehead and slowly go down and scan. Bringing and filtering out the dark heaviness and pushing it down as you go. Go as slow as you need to. Scan down now, going past your nose. Stopping when you feel there's extra heaviness. Taking extra time to see it and to push it down. Coming down now, past your mouth to your chin. Coming down to your throat. Scanning now, going down into your heart chakra, pushing the space in the chest where we like to keep those anxieties, where we keep those fears, where we keep a lot of cords of attachment. And we're going to keep pushing, collecting, feeling the heaviness build underneath our hand as we push it further down our bodies. Stopping when we feel the heaviness and spending that extra time. And then continuing to slowly scan down. Now coming down to the solar plexus, which is the stomach area. Putting this here, this is where we keep our doubts, our self-esteem, where we hold our fear of judgments of others. And we keep pushing down, going past our sacral, going down now to the root. And now scanning and pushing down our legs whilst standing straight. Imagine now with both hands pushing down your legs, and just imagine the force. Your energy forcing this heaviness down each leg. Going down past the knee, down through the calves, and now reaching your feet. All of that heavy darkness, all of that excess that you've held is now in your feet. And now, push it out the roots. Push it out your roots. Pushing it down into the earth. The earth takes it and collects it. It recycles negativity. It recycles negativity and turns it into beautiful earth energy. Your heaviness and the negativity you are pushing in feeds the earth. Push it down and feed Mother Earth. Watch it go all the way down the roots until it hits the core, where it all begins to evaporate and it is released. Once you feel you have cleared most of the heaviness out, then now I want you to imagine putting your head back on the top of your head. Imagine you have a trap door on the top of your head, opening up your head, opening that door. And now I want you to imagine the white, golden light of the universe, of God, of Source, of everything that is light and good and love, coming in, filling you up, coming in through your crown chakra, through the trap door you opened, coming in and slowly filling your body, coming in, filling your head space, going down your arms, coming in and filling into your chest, going down into your core, down into your legs, and filling your body with this beautiful, calming, loving energy that is protective, that is loving. Take a deep breath in. Again, drawing that white light in as you take that deep breath in. And filtering out with an exhale, pushing out down through your roots, any excess negative energy you hold on to, dusting out, sweeping out what is left. You should now begin to feel a lot more lighter, feeling more positive than you did in the beginning. You are now being filled with love, peace, strength, balance, all that is good. Fill yourself up and then stand in the stillness and enjoy this feeling for a moment. As an added step, set your intention for the day. And so it shall be. Until next time, be kind to yourself. With so much love and gratitude, I want to thank you for listening to this week's episode. My hope today is that the message continues to guide you along your path to healing. To learn more about me and my purposeful work, visit my website at abouthealingmedium.com. You can also follow About Healing Medium on Facebook and Instagram, where you can find the episode's healing guidance, quotes, tips, insights, and chances to win free stuff. To ask a question or to share comments, email me at abouthealingpodcast@gmail.com, or feel free to reach me on Facebook and Instagram at About Healing Medium. Until next time, be kind to yourself.